Race day starts in 10 seconds. All right, racing for the Porsche 911 GT3R. I'm doing something different this time. In the past, I have a separate video for every single stage. I'm not going to do that for this event. I'm just going to do this based on days. It'll be one big video. However, if you look in the description, there's timestamps. So if you want to go to a certain event, I'll have that available in the timestamps. It'll just take you to the beginning of each race. Now, if you haven't seen my video about getting ready for race day, I will put a link up here, and it'll also be at the end of this day. That shows you the upgrade paths you have. There's two options you've got, the two cheapest options. And you only need to have that for the very last day of this event. So you can be doing this with these first few events with no upgrades, I believe. However, I wanted to be ready for this, so I had my car upgraded and ready to go before this event even started. So it's May 27th, where I am in Canada, even though it says this doesn't start until May 28th. Of course, there's different time zones all over the planet. That being said, you don't have to start this event until June 3rd, but that's going to be June 2nd in most of the Western Hemisphere. So you need to be aware of that if you're trying to save up some M dollars. Now, if you live in the Western Hemisphere, you've got to be careful. You don't want to wait until June 3rd to start, because you'll open up the game and it will be gone. So you got to pay attention to that for wherever you live. Now, this is a wonderful car for this track. It's a really nice match. You can actually stay full throttle for the whole uphill section, which I don't know that you can do that in very many other cars. It's pretty cool, actually. So it's a nice car for this track, nice flow. I don't think that all of race day is going to be at this track. Kind of hope it's not, because it's nice to have some variety. We'll see what happens. And I'm not sure who we're all going to be facing yet. It's quite easy with these upgrades, and I am not going to be doing any bot slowing. I will be doing no bot management. I'm going to be running this flat out all the time. Usually race days are pretty easy, and if it comes back to bite me in the butt, oh well. But I'm looking for a challenge, I'm looking for some fun, so I'm going to be driving fast and reckless sometimes. And in between the races, this is going to be playing at 2 times normal speed. If you want to get a better look at anything, just pause it, and you can take more time to read through things. So I was actually reading the screens as I was going through this, and sometimes I was taking my time to make sure I understood it. And there you go, free instant servicing and instant R&D. That will happen as soon as you start this event. So if you want to apply a whole whack of upgrades instantly, save up your money before you start and you're ready to go. Okay, so I'm already going to be experimenting with a bit of cutting, because you never know when they're going to be asking us to drive off track, or when maybe there's a harder stage, or maybe I'm just wanting to really push the limits already. Who knows? But average speed requirement for this one's hilarious. Yeah, and it also said I needed to skid 10 times, so it's way easier to skid off track than it is on track. And I was expecting to skid right there and scrape along the wall, but the car doesn't want to skid. It's kind of funny, actually. This car is just great grip. The lower speed of this car makes the grip feel even better than it is. So, and it's got nice downforce, it seems. Yeah, really good balance, I think. So for this whole section, you can stay full throttle, which is kind of cool. And then you don't have to brake till you're pretty well at that banner. But then you got bots in your way, and they take... That's a bad race line he's in. So sometimes you just got to mess it up a little bit. I messed that up, and then I messed that up. But there you go. Got like 3 or 4 skids out of that corner alone. And nothing to worry about. I'd really love to know whenever I'm in the lead or what my position currently is. I don't really like this when it doesn't tell me what my position is. I still have another lap to go? Oh my. Okay. Well, we'll just cut across here, skid a little bit. Oh, it didn't count. I thought that would have counted as a skid. Well, that counted as a skid. And yeah, as you can see, average speed, boy, that's no trouble here. For this corner, interesting that you can brake late, but you need to start steering into that last corner sooner than you think you should, and then you can get back on the gas sooner than you think you can. That's the thing about grippy cars is when you put the hammer down, it'll often carry you through the corner very nicely. And sometimes it feels like, no, I can't put the gas down because this car is going to step out. Some of these cars love it when you put the hammer down. So don't be afraid to experiment, especially in the earlier stages where stages are really easy. You know, don't worry about experimenting and maybe blowing a corner here or there. It's really not going to matter very much in the end. And maybe you have to redo a stage, but we've got instant servicing right now, so not really much of a loss. As you can see, meeting average speed, absolutely not a problem here. And there I kind of, it's interesting, you get a little bit off kilter in this section, and it can really affect you. And again, I was trying to do a wall ride, but to do a really good wall ride, you need to keep your front end off the wall. And this car doesn't really want to skid. I think the only way I'm going to pull that off is if I actually hit the brakes and slide into the corner rather than just steering really, really hard. Or perhaps if I increase my steering sensitivity, but I don't want to do that. I like steering sensitivity 2 for these cars. And I'm running tilt B with no assist on at all. I like having my traction control off, my brakes off, and my steering off. There you go, that one's easy. You'd have no trouble doing that one with whatever upgrades you have or don't have. And the races are paying nice. So I was curious if I could actually do this entire event in one day. Theoretically I can, but as I look at how much these races are paying, that's going to be a waste of M dollars. So I will not be doing this all in one day because I'd just rather not blow a whole bunch of M dollars. Because as you know, they're not that easy to get. Well, easy to get, but we max out. So isn't that funny? Last event I was saying that I should maybe try some off track and see what it's like. And now he says you need to spend 10 seconds off track and finish within an allotted amount of time. Well, it's only one lap, and finding 10 seconds of off track here without wasting a bunch of time actually is interesting. There's a huge section you can drive off track near the end of this lap, but we'll see. I'll do a few things different. You saw that I took a cut right at the start, and at the top of this hill I'm going to take another cut because I'm just curious if I can do this without having to double back at all or just aimlessly drive off track. So I'm going to drive off track a little bit here. There we go. Wow, that wasn't very much. Only 0.6 of a second. So boy, I've got a lot. I've got 8.4 seconds I need to bank somewhere. So I'll probably do this right at the very end of the road here. Get a bunch of speed and see what my momentum is like off track. And worst case scenario, I cut the last corner and get the rest of it there. So let's see what we're looking at here. Nice speed run and take a big section off track. Well, that's a lot of speed lost. Okay, well, still have more time to take, so we'll follow this and... Oh, isn't that funny? That wasn't off track. Okay, and that's also not off track. Okay, back up to the grass. There we go. Wow, I didn't want to let anyone pass me. Oh well. No trouble. You know, I had, what, 15 plus 8. Lots of time left over there. Nothing to worry about. And all these offers that I don't really want. Fast forward through some of this. And, oh, so now we get a hint at what this is about. Overtake Magnus, and they give us basically 2.5 laps to do it. Well, if you've been around my videos for a while now, you know that I love to pit Magnus. I love to throw him into walls and do all sorts of crazy stuff. So I'm looking forward to hunting Magnus down and smashing him or pitting him or something. I just wonder where he is. Boy, lots of slower cars. There's lots of GT4 cars in this series. And GT4 cars are going to be slower than the GT3 cars. Alright, where is that guy? It says we're supposed to get a look inside his window, so I'm not sure where he is. Is he in some of these ones? Let's see, where'd he go? What? Oh. Oh, he was in a blue and white McLaren. Oh, well. Well, that's a lot of pay for a really short race. Isn't that great? Okay, that's the end of day one. And like I said, throw up a couple of links here. And day two is going to be coming up shortly after this one. Thank you for watching.